In my last video, I asked the question, should you watch the Berserk movies on Netflix in 2020? And I had a really hard time coming up with an answer to that question. However, this video is different. To put it bluntly, the only reason I can come up with for why you shouldn't watch One Piece in 2020 is if you already watched it in 2019. And even then, you may be due for a rewatch. One Piece took the top spot for my quintessential anime pick when I started watching it back in 2018. It may seem like I was a bit late to the party, and I guess I was, but I had watched the first couple arcs on Toonami as a kid in the form of the 4Kids dub, and like most people, it left a weird taste in my mouth. It wasn't bad. Frankly, it'd be a challenge to make One Piece bad. It was just a little off. Between Sanji smoking lollipops and the Marines using squirt guns, this already kinda silly anime had turned into an entirely silly anime, and that just isn't really what One Piece is. After not looking into One Piece for over a decade, I had thought, I wonder what the titular One Piece ended up being. I googled it and, what? The show was still ongoing. I was shocked. And at that moment, I decided it was time to watch One Piece, so I signed up for Funimation and began my journey with the Straw Hats. My initial thoughts to watching the anime were, well, mixed to say the least. On one hand, the writing was masterful. On the other, the animation felt super dated, and that's because it was. The first 150 episodes of this show is the anime equivalent to a butterface. It had everything going for it, but her anime face. You know what I mean. I had already watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z multiple times, so you would think I would be used to the more traditional look. However, One Piece lacks the overall detail that Dragon Ball brings to the table. In a large portion of the scenes of early One Piece, the edges of the background are just faded into white. This is a weird choice, and I'm still not entirely sure why the animation team chose this style. I ended up getting used to the animation style, then around episode 200-ish, the anime switched to HD, and it looks far more akin to what I expect from modern animation. But much like many other facets of life, the real beauty of One Piece is on the inside, not the outside. The main thing that kept me hooked all the way from the beginning of the story to where we are now is the incredible storytelling and writing. If there is one thing that I think One Piece does better than just about any other work of fiction, it's the world building. The way characters are introduced to us very early on in subtle ways and then reintroduced to us later as some of the most important and powerful characters in the entire show is incredible, and it happens throughout the entire story. Another way in which One Piece is totally unique is the strange and wacky ways in which Oda handles character design. Paired with his writing, he is somehow able to make me say, ugh, I hate the way this character looks, I could never like that guy in one sentence, then say, wow, this character's in my top 5 favorite characters in all of anime in the next. Speaking of the characters, I often have a hard time feeling the emotion that an anime is trying to make me feel. Maybe I'm a psychopath, or maybe something is getting lost in translation, or maybe both, but I do not have this problem with One Piece at all. I like the characters so much that certain sad events could be spoiled for me months prior to me actually getting to said events, and I still shed a tear when it happens. Another thing One Piece did amazingly well is the time skip. Many anime do a time skip, but only a few do it right. The classic example of a bad time skip is Naruto. From Naruto to Naruto Shippuden, virtually nothing changes, with the exception of everybody getting a bit older. In One Piece, without saying too much, not only do the characters look and feel way more mature and way stronger, they are more mature and way stronger. It is so fun seeing all of the new techniques the Straw Hats have developed during the time skip put on display in the post-time skip arcs. The first arc back is basically a showcase for how much more powerful the Straw Hats have become. Some people say this is to the series' detriment, but I think it's an awesome change of pace that really shows the Straw Hats deserve to be in the New World alongside all of the other most powerful figures on the Grand Line. Okay, let's switch gears, pun intended, to the main protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy as a protagonist is a strange one. In a landscape filled to the brim with simple-minded protagonists who care about their friends, it is easy to brush him off as generic. However, through following him, you'll find that Luffy is just the typical shonen protagonist, but dialed up to 11, which in a roundabout way makes him totally unique. He is a genius in the art of fighting, and has willpower that is unmatched by any other protagonist in shonen. Like seriously, if you think a protagonist in another show has a lot of willpower, Luffy could beat them in a test of wills in his sleep. I'm not going to spend any more time in this video on Luffy because I think he deserves his own video, so let's move on to the power systems in One Piece. The two power systems in One Piece are complex to say the least. The first one, which I'll cover in a bit more detail than the latter, is Devil Fruit, which break down into 3 categories of varying degrees of strength and rarity. Anything from being able to turn into a jacket, being able to stretch your body, or being able to turn into a gigantic Chinese dragon that breathes fire down on anybody and anything is on the table. Virtually any power is possible and frankly probable in One Piece. And when you stack on top of that the crazy secondary power system that I'm not really going to get into, there are so many possibilities in combat that every fight or skirmish feels 100% unique. The crazy thing about this is that we still don't know even close to everything about either power system. After more than 20 years of publication, there's still so much we don't know that it's exciting. Not everything about this anime is perfect. Actually, far from it. Now, I know a lot of you have been waiting for me to say this, so I'll just come out and say it. The pacing of the anime is horrible. The pacing in this anime is so bad that it actually caused me to take my first step into manga. The first quarter or so has bad but tolerable pacing. Pretty much everything after that is so horrible it's virtually unwatchable to me. I would have rather them packed far more filler and have good pacing, because at least I can reliably skip filler. Like, what am I supposed to do? Go to anime pacing list and skip like 50% of every episode? The One Piece anime gets a no from me, dog, as far as pacing goes. In my opinion, the best way to experience One Piece is to read the colorized version of the manga, then go back and watch key moments like fight scenes. Overall, the answer is obviously yes. Despite having its flaws, the One Piece anime is worth watching in 2020 and beyond. If you've recently found yourself with about 310 hours of free time as of April 11th, 2020, then forget about your current family and join your new family as they search for the One Piece and achieve all their dreams no matter how crazy they are.
Come aboard and bring